Hi there, I'm Rachel Brock with 5 Star Real Estate, and this is everything you need to know about the changes in the housing market for the month of October.
Happiness starts at home. Happiness starts at home. Happiness starts at home.
Calculated Risk concludes that the annual growth rate of 19.7% is probably close to a peak, and that the year-over-year price increases will slow down as the year continues. Closings are set to decline roughly 10% year-over-year in the second half of 2021, and home price appreciation is on the cusp of a flipping to a decelerating trend. Again, there will be an appreciation trend, just in a slower, more moderate pace performance rate compared to what we've been seeing in the previous months. This being said, prices are not necessarily declining, they're just appreciating slower and appreciating 32% in the next 5 years. Buying now before prices continue to exceed expectations is important. Buying now is really mission critical. When we forecast the fourth quarter of the market with the pandemic being in place, fall is usually the start of the slower season. But we all know this has not been a normal year due to the circumstances. Potential buyers are seeing a slight rise in inventory while mortgage applications jumped over 7%, which is the highest level we've seen since April. It may seem like things are slowing down, but this is only because the last 2 years have not been normal. 2019 was the last normal, and we are already doing exceptionally better in existing home sales in comparison. When will listings peak? They could continue to grow. It could continue at the rate it's at like it did in 2020, or they could fall. But there are 3 reasons professionals like myself think listings will continue to increase through the fall and into the winter months. Number 1, there is a pent-up selling demand, and homeowners are starting to feel more comfortable with the idea of putting their home on the market. Since the pandemic is shifting and more people are getting vaccinated, having people into their homes for open houses or property tours seems to be less of a potential risk. Number 2, new construction is taking place and starting to grow more and more rapidly, allowing more options for potential buyers and current homeowners to consider when they sell. There's no longer a major lack of options compared to the options sellers had in the past. Number 3, it is the end of forbearance, which is creating new listings. Don't worry, this will not lead to a huge wave of foreclosures, but it will allow homeowners to be able to sell their homes and have enough equity to more than cover the expenses of actually selling. Freddie Mac shows there's a 3.01% rise in mortgage rates, and many factors lead to this increase. The economy is recovering, not as quickly as we would like, but it is slowly making a comeback. There will be no sharp spike of a rise in prices, just a gradual growth inching back up market, making interest rates rise a bit. The buyer purchasing power will cost more, and financing will be harder as the rates also rise. Thank you for watching. I'm Rachel Brock with 5 Star Real Estate, and remember, happiness starts at home.